I'm here with former NFL wide receiver JJ Stokes, UCLA legend. We're standing on the field here at the Rose Bowl right now. Why did you choose UCLA coming out of high school?
You know, I had options to go to any school in the Pac-10 at the time, and I just felt like UCLA was a perfect fit for me. It was far enough away from home, and with the tradition they have in winning and really all sports, the academic side was great. And I just fell in love with Westwood when I came up here.
Take me through a typical workout you would do during your NFL career. What was JJ Stokes doing in the gym on a regular basis?
You know, I was a big time run. I like to run. I like to do sprints. But when I got up to the Niners, it was different. I had a trainer, and we started off running 3 miles, and 3 miles has never been my forte. We'd run the hill. I don't know if you've heard about the treacherous hill that Jerry Rice ran. I started running that my rookie year, and then as you got later on into training, it built down to sprints. So, I mean, for any youngster, I'd say start off with a long base of just miles, and then as you get closer to football season, you should be doing nothing but sprints.
You played with Jerry Rice, arguably the greatest wide receiver in NFL history. What impressed you about Jerry Rice?
I think when you see him practice every single day and he treated it like a game. You see that in the offseason, you saw that during the regular season, and he came to play and practice every single day. His consistency was probably the biggest thing that you can, wow, to perform like that, even when, days you're not feeling good, something's not right with friends, family, whatever. He was there to perform every day.
Jim Harbaugh's the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. They lost in the Super Bowl this past year. New season coming up, the 49ers. What do you like about them?
You know, I like what he does with that team. I mean, the one thing that stands out is they're physically aggressive, more so than any team that they play against. And I think that's something that Jim Harbaugh brings. He makes them impose their physical nature, and they win in the meantime. It's almost like that winning is a second nature, but you impose your will physically, and then you win the game.
You're one of the great UCLA football players of all time. If you were going to put together a Mount Rushmore of UCLA football players, who would be the 4 guys that would make it on that list, that would make it on the UCLA Mount Rushmore for football?
It would be hard to come up with players for.
You could use coaches too, if you'd like.
See, so you go far beyond me. I'll keep it with the players. Gary Beeben, only Heisman Trophy winner, has to be there. Kenny Easley, 4-time All-American, jersey retired. Jonathan Ogden, 4-time All-American, jersey retired. Those guys I look at and I'm like, to be an All-American 1-2 years, but all 4 years, or win the Heisman is a feat in itself, for sure. Mount Rushmore.
Are you satisfied with the job Jim Mora is doing so far with the UCLA Bruins?
You know what? I like the direction he's headed. I don't think Jim Mora is satisfied. That's why I won't say that I'm satisfied. I think he won't be satisfied till they win every single game. They represent the Pac-12 in whatever bowl game that is, which likely will be the national championship. So I don't think he's satisfied. Therefore, I'm not satisfied either.
You played for the San Francisco 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, their quarterback, made some headlines this past week for wearing a Miami Dolphins hat. You have any problem with that?
You know, I'd chalk that up to just a young guy not really looking at the big picture. And maybe he does look at the big picture, but within the same sport, it caught me off guard. If it were like
a Miami Marlins hat, or a Miami Heat hat,
or a Yankees hat or something like that, where I'd be like, okay, that's not that big of a deal. But within your same sport, it was a little bit bigger of a deal because quarterbacks obviously get all the accolades, and it comes along with what position he plays.
Let me ask you about Aaron Hernandez. Obviously, it's a very tragic situation there in Massachusetts. How does something like this happen to a 23-year-old kid who's got the world ahead of him? A $40 million contract he signed with the Patriots. It seems like he's just throwing it all away.
You know, it's really hard to wrap your hands around this situation because I don't know anybody that's been in that situation. But sometimes you can just let things get away from you. I think you have to keep a small circle of friends, and you have to have a small circle of friends that are doing good and positive things, and that stays around you, because I think it's easy to stay to become friends with people that are just out there after something. And I think those are the people you have to be truly wary about. And I don't know his particular situation, but some of the company he's kept probably hasn't been the greatest company for him.
JJ, great talking to you. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you.